Hallmark Hot Takers, and welcome to our 19th episode of Hallmark Hot Takers. Something like that. We're in the high teens. We're like in the end game now. So tonight we are going...
It might be the 20th. Because there's 3 other ones to go.
I don't know. Maybe it's the 20th. So we are reviewing all 23 movies from the Hallmark Channel's Countdown to Christmas and giving them ratings according to...
5 candy canes out of each of us.
So tonight we are going to be reviewing... Now, this is going to knock your socks off. It's not a Christmas movie.
Nope.
It's a Hanukkah movie. Love Lights Hanukkah, starring Mia Kirshner and everybody's favorite 90s TV star, Ben Savage.
Also known as Corey Matthews.
Corey freaking Matthews.
From Boy Meets World.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, okay.
I'm going to do a recap?
Recap.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's talk about this movie, Love Lights Hanukkah. We meet Christina, who is a chef at her restaurant in Cleveland, where the movie is set. So props to Hallmark for doing a Cleveland movie.
As soon as they had the landscape,
The establishing shots.
I'm like, that's Cleveland.
They talk about Fairview Hospital.
No Chicago, no New York. It's Cleveland.
They talk about Shaker Heights. I mean, it's amazing.
This is amazing.
So anyhow, she is a chef at her mother's restaurant. Her mother has passed away, and we find out that Christina was adopted as a baby, born at Fairview Hospital in the city there, and she does this DNA test to try and find out more about her ancestry because her mother is dead and she doesn't know who her father is. So it comes back and it finds out she has a very close familial relation in Cleveland. You wouldn't know. So this woman reaches out to Christina and they meet at her deli.
Yes.
Right. And we find out that they are a Jewish family and they don't know how they're related yet. So we'll call it the probably cousin. I don't remember her name. She invites her to her house for dinner, and the cousin's mom is there, who is played by Mary Lou Henner of Taxi fame, and she's been in all kinds of other things. So we find out at the dinner, Christina is telling them about her story, what her past is, and she says, she says her birthday and where she was born, and you see Ruth, the mom, white as a ghost, finds out Christina's Ruth's daughter.
Get out of here.
Shut the front door.
It's amazing.
So she drops the news right there, and Christina is a little, I need some time. And
who wouldn't be, right?
So Christina is very torn because she loves her deceased mother dearly, her adoptive mother very dearly, and she's extremely sad that she's not around for Christmas. And
then bam, there's the biological.
So there's this whole thing. So there is this family friend played by Ben Savage, named David, who is just he's living with Ruth for the holidays because he's moving out of Cleveland and his apartment is gone. It got sublet or something. Yeah. So first of the year he's off to Europe and he's just living there. So he begins to spend some time with Christina as she kind of comes around to her new family, and they kind of teach Christina all about their Hanukkah traditions, and she kind of gives them a little bit of the Christmas show, and they all just become this one big happy half Jewish family. Well, all Jewish, but she's half Jewish. She's Italian and Jewish. So she starts this kind of relationship with David, but she is very reluctant to get involved because he's leaving to go pursue.
He's a food critic.
He's a food critic.
Writing some book.
Yes. And so he's going to go do his food critic thing in Europe. So he, asks her out and she says, no, I don't want to start something we can't finish. And my heart's just not ready for that because I've already lost one person that I love and I don't want to lose another one. And so then Ruth gives David the talk, says, dude, come on, grow up. So then David comes back and says, look, I'm only going to be in Europe 6 weeks. And
then I'm coming back to
Cleveland. Putting down some roots.
Right.
He's got his realtor looking for a house already.
Right.
And Christina says, well, that's great. Then we can do this. Yeah. And they have the feast of they do all 8 days of Hanukkah. And then on Christmas Eve, they have the feast of the 7 fishes.
Yes, 7 fishes. At
her restaurant. And they kiss. And that is Love Lights Hanukkah.
It's a great recap. Want to do a review?
I do.
Okay. All right, recap. Oh,
no, it's rating time.
Whatever.
We already did the recap.
Okay, all right. Cleveland. This was amazing, right? Like, it was fantastic. Fairview Hospital, amazing. Corey friggin' Matthews is in this movie.
Corey Matthews.
Only way better is if Shawn would appear.
That he should have been like a sidekick.
That would have
been amazing.
That would have been extra candy canes. I loved that aspect. Things I didn't like.
Can you tell that we grew up in the 90s?
No, not at all. Things I didn't like. The lonely dinner early on in the movie, where she's like,
really sad.
Like she has no family.
She doesn't.
So she's eating this like really fancy dinner and wine all by herself. Made me so sad. The whole part about her finding her dad,
Oh yeah, we forgot to tell you about that. At the end of the movie, her mom actually knew he found her dad. Well, actually, David helped her the mom find her dad, and they called him at the end of the movie, and it was very touching. And he says, "You should come out to Italy," and she says, "Okay."
Right.
Sorry, we left that out of that recap.
I thought it was okay without it, and then all of a sudden, like, it kind of like added to it. And then I thought maybe they would say...
She was like on overload.
Right. Like she's already on overload,
she
right?
Was
so
on
like
overload.
She found this whole new new mom, whole new family.
Like half siblings.
Yeah, she's an aunt now. She's got a new boyfriend. And then like it's just like a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And then he goes. So David, I was gonna say Corey. He's going to Europe. And you thought like there'd be this, like she'd go with him, right? Like she'd go with him and then see her dad because he's in Italy. And they never developed that part, which
they did. She did eventually at the end. She said maybe we could go together.
Right.
But
that way. So didn't love that. I thought the dad part was just like pushed in there. And then like everything, and again, I know it's Hanukkah. But everything was like lox and bagels. Like I think they had lox and bagels like 6 times in this movie.
It was like they took every like really popular Jewish trope and put it in the movie.
Right.
Like, because they didn't know what Hanukkah was really about.
Right. So like unless it's a lot of lox and bagels, which then maybe it's very on par, but just felt like a lot.
The menorah felt authentic.
Yeah, it was a nice menorah.
I'll save mine.
And then the dad's a Cubs fan? What the hell? Like, you're in Cleveland, 2016, Cubs? Come on. We don't talk about the Cubs. Stupid. That costed a candy cane, I'll tell you right now, like that. Candy cane rating-wise, Corey Matthews, Cleveland, 3.
3 candy canes.
3 solid candy canes.
That is interesting. Okay. I'm going to start, I think, with my dislikes first.
Ooh, that's not good.
It is what it is.
Oh.
Okay. So, when Ruth figures out that she is Christina's mom, she, like, leaves the table and she comes back and then she just drops the bomb right there. I feel like she should have given a little bit more time to process this information for herself before she just dropped it on this woman that she just met 5 minutes ago. I didn't like that. So Christina is kind of showing David some Christmas traditions. And they're doing like this, they're at her restaurant and it's all lit up and decorated. And he looks around and he said, "So, this is Christmas." And I thought, yeah, David, but you're like an American Jew. So, I mean, Christmas is everywhere in America. Jewish people know about Christmas traditions, I feel like. Like, they're everywhere. You know, like, that's a Christmas tree. So this is Christmas. I just thought that was weird. They try to make David kind of a smooth talker. But he's Corey Matthews, so he just can't. He can't do it.
No.
And it's endearing, but it just doesn't work.
Like, if you didn't know Corey Matthews, maybe it works.
Right, but it just doesn't. I don't know. So they did this. They went to a Jewish lighting ceremony where they lit one of the candles on the menorah, and they did this whole thing. And throughout the scene, they're trying to explain to Christina what it all means. And I hated it because it's so difficult to explain a religious holiday in completely secular terms. And I just thought it was like you didn't really say anything meaningful about Hanukkah or its traditions. It was like lights.
8
I don't know.
crazy nights.
I feel like Hanukkah deserves a little bit more of its
solid,
realness.
like Adam Sandler song, I think would go over well.
Yes. So I didn't really like that. And then, so there's this one point where David's trying to teach her whatever song you sing when you light a candle. And I kind of liked it, but I kind of didn't. But it also reminded me of the episode of Friends where Phoebe tries to teach Joey how to speak French because she just wasn't getting it. Right. But it was funny.
What about the holiday armadillo? That would have been amazing.
We're not talking about that.
Oh.
But that could have worked. I'm the holiday armadillo.
That would have been amazing.
Jesus flew. Superman flew all the Jews on a fake ship. Okay.
That's a Friends reference for everyone out there.
Okay.
So
the fact that it's set in Cleveland, amazing.
Yes.
They did play Spin the Dreidel, which I expected was going to be amazing. There's a scene where David is in the restaurant and he's like because she's trying to embrace her Jewish heritage, and he makes a suggestion that maybe she should make some menu changes to her restaurant. And she kind of gets mad at him, and she's like, I don't need any of your advice about this. And then, like, a couple minutes later, she walks away, and then she comes back, and she says, I'm really sorry. It's just, this is my mom's place, and she's here, and I can't make any changes. There's already so much. And I thought that was really weird, because they were throwing a lot at this poor woman. Like, she got a new family. Her mom is deceased. She's having, she was just an emotional train wreck. The way that she talked about her mom, her adopted mom, just gave me all the feels, because you can tell she just loved this woman, and this woman was just great to her, and she wants to embrace the traditions. And you could see the struggle that she had between embracing her new family and then feeling like she had like these dual loyalties because she didn't want to push her, so that was really well done. She had some guilt over her new family. So then they got Cavs tickets. She out-gifted all of them. So on the 8th night of Hanukkah, she gets gifts for all of her new family members, her new sister, her new brother, her mom, David, all of them. And she just kills it. She just gives them all
Except
of these.
for those jerseys.
Okay, they couldn't license the jerseys for the Cavs shit.
But
she did get them Cavs tickets.
And they did say Cavs tickets, which is good. Not like professional basketball tickets.
Because the family was really into sports. They did all this.
But these generic jerseys,
and she just
hold on. These generic jerseys,
they were
awful.
They were
trash. They were
like
red and yellow, not even white and gold, red and yellow.
Yes, he looked it up. They were the Pantone color.
No, it was awful.
Okay, so she outgifted all of them. I'm like, yeah, because she's a Christmas gift giver.
Right.
I mean,
crushed it.
She really did great. Welcome to Hanukkah. You did a bang up job, but now they're going to expect that every year.
Yeah.
So what else do I have here? When she calls her dad, I get it was a lot to throw at her, but I actually really liked when the mom Ruth called the dad to tell him he had a daughter. Because I didn't think we'd see that conversation, and I really kind of liked it. So,
what do you think? It was 30 years later.
But this was my favorite.
Hold on.
No.
How old do you think she is? 30 years later, you have a daughter.
Yeah. Okay, listen, I gotta finish. There's this one thing. So, Ben at one point asks her out on a date, and she says no because she doesn't want to start something she can't finish. So then when he decides that he's going to come back to Cleveland, he goes to her and he says, I'm going to be gone for 6 weeks, and I'm coming back, and I'm going to stay in Cleveland. I'm going to buy a house. And then he stops and he says, and I'm going all out trying to get this date. And I thought that was really cute. It was adorable.
That was pretty cute.
So all of that being said, this movie gave me a lot of feels. Obviously not a lot of Christmas feels because it was a Hanukkah movie.
It wasn't going to.
And everything I know about Hanukkah, or really Jewish people in general, I learned from the Goldbergs. So I'm not 100% sure how accurate any of it was. Sounds like a lovely holiday. So Corey Matthews is obviously going to get a candy cane. Cleveland is obviously going to get a candy cane.
That's where I was.
I'm on board with the feels for the mother. That really hit home with me. I loved it, and I thought they did a decent job. It's not my favorite, but I'm on board for giving it 3.5 candy canes.
Okay, 3.5 candy canes. Plus the 3.
6.5.
6.
So it was a middle of the road offering. I mean,
yeah.
Corey Matthews, he's good at comedy. I don't know if Ben Savage does a romantic lead.
I don't know who Ben Savage is.
And what would Topanga think?
Right. All right, we'll do a preview.
Okay, so in case you were starting to think the 90s references were going to be over, they're not.
Oh.
Because the next movie we're going to review is Cross Country Christmas, starring Rachel Lee Cook. Who knows where she's from?
I do. She's all that.
She's all that. Another 90s teen rom-com. And Grayston Holt. So when former classmates...
He was not in that movie, though.
He was not. That was not Freddie Prinze Jr.
Where the hell this guy came from.
Freddie Prinze Jr. has not been in a Hallmark movie that I am aware of. Former classmates Lena and Max are traveling home for the holidays until a storm hits, and they have to work together to make it home in time, no matter the mode of transportation.
Oh, it's like planes, trains, and automobiles. I love it. This is going to be great.
So, yeah, we'll see. We're in the end game now, folks. Just a few more to go.
Bye.